Hello, welcome. Happy Monday. Welcome to Dear Source, your Ascendancy Hotline. And I am excited to welcome you guys in today. Today, we're going to do something just a little bit different, but I wanted to welcome you in where you know that this is your daily dose of spiritual guidance, where we dive deep into real life questions and struggles using ancient wisdom, universal principles to find clarity, peace, and alignment. Whether you're navigating relationships, inner conflict, or seeking purpose, this is a space where we honor your journey with compassion, non-judgment, and insights. Drawing from the universal laws, A Course in Miracles, the Law of One, and the Hermetic Principles, we are here to help you find answers, connect to your truth, and elevate your path to healing and growth. Now, let's get connected with the wisdom of Source. And today, I want to step into, even more of my journey and who I am and what has brought me to this moment. I actually had one of my friends that share just how do you share and connect with people about who you are and what you do. And so I just took that invitation to really step in to, the truest essence of who I am and to embody that and share that with you guys today. And when I think of my journey and what it means to step into the work that I've been called to do, I remember just feeling so disconnected. So what truly God has asked me to do on this earthly plane in this lifetime is to use all the spiritual gifts, all the spiritual wisdom, to bring that into how we run businesses. So I spent almost 20 years in corporate America. And I think I might have shared this before, but I spent 20 years from corporate America and I was very robotic. And I took all the tools and traditional business tactics that were given and ultimately was very successful. But I remember feeling just very disconnected and feeling the pull and the call to how do we really shift, corporate cultures, business itself, because I was so disconnected. It was just monotonous. I wasn't even the expression of myself that I truly am. And that's really hard to operate from that place. And when you operate disconnected from yourself and the truth of who you are, you're actually not giving the fullest expression of yourself to the world and giving the truest expression of yourself. And so I remember there was one workshop that really got me kind of thinking about this. And it was a workshop that I did while I was with Athleta. And it was about our soul and business and how do you bring those two together. And it was a nice talking point. But the reality is there was never an embodiment. Like what I always found to be a complete disconnect was we would go off and talk about things like, okay, goals with soul, I think it might have been termed. But then you'd go back into everyday business after you get out of leadership conferences, yearly conferences, stuff like that. And it was like back to business as usual. You would have never known we went and had that level of in-depth conversation, opening people up, getting people to really connect with themselves. And it just was very disconnected. And it was like, I know that we have to have a change, but how do we have change in the work environment, in the workplace? How do you help people activate and realize their limitless, infinite potential? And, it started down a pretty intensive journey for me. And one of the things that really got me down this path was I started on my coaching certification with coactive leadership coaching. And it was very intensive and brought me to the core of who I am in a lot of ways. And the one thing I would say that I have learned through that process is, yes, we all hold the answers within us, but the beauty within us is that we have to have the catalyst. And I needed those external people and the external relationships to help me truly see myself and to initiate the growth that the universe was calling me to take on. And so when we think about why do we need other people in our lives? Because they're catalysts for our growth. They're the catalysts to remember who we are. If you think about everything exists in relationship and everybody is a mirror for our growth, that's the catalyst to really look internally to go, what do I need to grow here? And so I started down that path and that journey. And I then decided to branch out and become an entrepreneur. And I stepped into being in real estate, and I'm a dual licensed real estate agent right now in both Colorado and Utah. And I've always felt this pull and calling from the universe of like, how are you supposed to do business? How are you supposed to create in this world? And about 4 or 5 years ago, when I started on this entrepreneur path of getting into real estate, running my own coaching and consulting business, I had to recognize within myself, what is the place of how I create and where do I create from? And I will tell you, I've done a tremendous amount of growth in the last 4 or 5 years because I've learned a lot about myself. And I've learned a lot about the energetics that have to be done to align you with who you are and the way you're meant to express in the world, and to give to the world through those avenues of which your expression. And I'll be honest, I tried and enrolled in a lot of different coaching programs, like the tried and true, like even for real estate. Okay, here's how you become a 6-figure real estate agent and just implement these systems. And what I found is like I kept failing. I kept being unsuccessful in the results that I know I meant to get as an individual, and realizing that part of that failure was the learning. In the failure was a reminder of, you are an organic creator. You are here to listen to source, to connect with source, and to follow the way that source is leading you. And I would say in this last year, I've really tapped into what that really means, because I kept just kind of chasing my tail. Like, oh, just go do this. And it was just like, why is this not working for me? Why can't I just naturally step into plugging in this system and getting the results that I want? And it's because energetically, it didn't fit my energetic blueprint as an individual, as a soul. It was designed for somebody else. It wasn't designed for me. It wasn't in alignment with my soul structure. So part of the gifts that I had and what I embarked upon this last year of stepping into my shamanic roots and my shamanic abilities and practices is I also can read the Akashic records. And one of the things that happens inside the Akashic records is that we get to learn where our soul comes from. So we all originate from different places in this beautiful universe, what makes our soul unique and special. We also have our souls trained by the archangels. And when we come in, if you think about your soul, it like has a chakra system, is aligned with the chakra system. So when my soul dropped into my body, 39% of my soul was trained in the second energy center, the sacral energy center, which is really about embodying what I do. Like I have to have a physical embodiment of what I do. And I also come from the earth. So it made sense to step into my shamanic wisdom and skills because that's where my soul originated from and what my soul was called to do. And the other primary energy centers is I have my throat chakra and my heart chakra. And all of these are in combination of who you are and the way you're meant to express into the world. And when you don't align and you're not acting in alignment with those energy centers, you're not getting the results that the universe is trying to deliver. And we've created a system where we think like, oh, I'm just the ego. And if I just go do these things, and this is the way everybody else does it, and these will be the results that I get. It actually doesn't work that way. And so I've been on the incredibly hard journey of learning that the only way that I get to create and what I'm here to do is to help others create, is to create in alignment with your soul. And to understand that when you're not creating from those energy centers, you're actually not getting the results that you could be achieving. And so I think about, everything is energy. And so I had to really make the shift. And part of my spiritual journey and stepping into all these intuitive gifts that I had was to understand that the work we're here to do is energetic. And I have been gifted amazing gifts to be able to channel what Source wants to convey. So when I think about the Dear Source, my daily show, that's where I connect in based on real world questions that people are asking me to channel Source to give you an answer. And I've also been gifted that same intuitive ability to read people's businesses, read the soul of their business, interpret where there's blockages, where there's limitations, where there's disalignment, because business is a creation. Business is a creative outlet tied to the creator. And then it also becomes tied to the energetic souls that are working within that. And so I have an incredible intuitive ability to look at brands, see where brands are at, see what brands need to do, how to reposition yourself, how to realign yourself, how to structure yourself that your soul's essence is at the heart of everything that you do, that your employees can feel that your customers can feel that it's an energetic output of the soul, your soul as an entrepreneur or as a business owner, or how to envelop souls and enroll them into your your business's mission, where they're aligned, and how to call that in. Because that's the transition we're making on the earth. Like, I have tried all of the shit, and that it's like, do this, do this, do this, do this. And I just would feel into it and go, that doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel like me. That's not the way that God, source, universe, divine wants to get that done through me. And so part of my journey with my own business is to truly be in energetic alignment with it, and to know that it's an expression of myself. Because if I myself do that in my own business, I can then assist people in doing that in their businesses. And when I've tried other tactics that aren't in alignment with who I am, what my soul is, how my soul is supposed to be, I don't ever get the results. And there's an intuitive nature of which we're supposed to work. It's supposed to be messy and organic and nonlinear. And it's also supposed to accelerate and grow faster than what we can even do. We limit the success and prosperity of our business because of our energetic disalignments. And so I have been on an incredibly intensive journey, falling down, getting back up, learning what's working, what's not working. Like, there is no one size fits all method. The only thing that you can have somebody do is to have them tune you to finding your own answer, and to help you become a catalyst for that energetic alignment, and then how to drop that in, embody that, and go put that into action in the world. So when you ask, what do I do? What do I do is I use my intuitive shamanic gifts to heal businesses, to serve humanity, to serve consumers, to serve their workforce for the betterment of this planet, and to work in conjunction with the whole of the universe. And so if you ever want to connect, you want me to read into your business, you want me to read into you, connect to who you are, what makes you magical and special, because each one of us has a different soul blueprint. Each one of us has a different soul expression. Each one of us has different ways in which we're supposed to express ourselves into the world. And the only job that we're here to do is to come into alignment and know how to go express that in the world by knowing that information. So I appreciate my beautiful friend that said, I want to hear like how you got to using shamanic practices in business. Well, it started with me being in business in corporate America for 20 years and realizing this is not it. And then going on my own spiritual journey, building my own businesses, and realizing that connecting with source, connecting in with the energetics of my business, and creating based on my unique blueprint was the way forward, and the way that I was going to be successful, because nobody else can match that frequency. So I am here to help see where you're at, see you, help connect you in, help to become the catalyst for what you want to create on this earth. So if you would like to schedule a more in-depth, personalized session with me, there is a link below in every one of these episodes. So please book. And I have a like-minded spiritual community coming up that we will be launching, where you can come together to help each other grow, heal, and ascend. You don't have to walk this path alone. And until next time, trust the process, honor your truth, and stay connected with Source.